A champion was born when a 41-year-old Yadav walked up to a microphone and turned politics on its head. Cast on the anvil of socialism, this man broke the hegemony of caste. On that day, he became the first person of backward birth to take the foremost post in Bihar. At the JP Memorial Chowk, Ganesh Maidan in Patna, Lalu Prasad Yadav was sworn in by Governor Muhammad Yunus Salim as the 25th Chief Minister of Bihar. The day was 10th of March, 1990. Fast forward a lifetime, jump a generation, the adulation for the champion, a faint reverberation of memory. The man himself ailing, coping with the scepter of a legacy squandered. The champion of the ignored castes, the messiah of social parity, the personification of Mandalism, felled by the desire to put family first. The bequest of a champion frittered away by a family man. Lalu likes to tell the story of how, when he first became the Chief Minister of Bihar, he went to his village and broke the news to his mother. He had to explain what job a Chief Minister did. A disappointed mother told her CM son, "So, you could not get a government job?"
माता का दूध और गाय का दूध दोनों बराबर.
Family was important to the newly cast Chief Minister, but so were the principles that he had adopted as his own. In the initial days and months, the Chief Minister of Bihar functioned out of the peons' quarter at Patna Veterinary College campus, where he and his family used to stay. But there were bigger issues at play that would create the legend of Lalu Prasad Yadav, the champion of the lower castes of Bihar. In 1990, two events altered the course of Indian politics. The implementation of the Mandal Commission's recommendations to introduce reservation for backward communities, and L.K. Advani's Rath Yatra to demand the construction of a Ram Mandir in Ayodhya. In Bihar, Lalu Yadav harnessed these two political storms to turn the windmill of his ambitions. On October 1990, Lalu had Advani arrested in Samastipur and then moved to a government guest house in Masanjor near the Bihar-West Bengal border. Later that day, Lalu addressed a massive rally at Patna's historic Gandhi Maidan.
देश में अगर इंसान ही नहीं रहेगा तो मंदिर में घंटी कौन बजाएगा या कौन बजाएगा जब इंसानियत पर खतरा हो. इंसान नहीं रहेगा तो मस्जिद में इबादत कौन देने जाएगा. हम अपने राज में मतलब दंगा फसाद को फैलने नहीं देंगे. जहां फैलाने का नाम लिया और जहां बवेला खड़ा करने का नाम लिया तो फिर हमारे साथ चाहे राज रहे या राज चला जाए, हम इस पर कोई समझौता करने वाले नहीं. रामनगर धूमनगर कोना कानी, रामनगर धूमनगर कोना कानी, असंप्रदायिक के पीठ पर थाली बाजी.
That one act of political bravery thrust Lalu Yadav into national limelight. He was the man who stopped Lal Krishna Advani. Because of his actions, the BJP withdrew support to the VP Singh government at the centre. And yet Lalu became the gallant saviour of the downtrodden and the minorities. Many years later, speaking to NDTV, he said, "I had the option of felicitating him as his Rath Yatra to Ayodhya rolled into Bihar and giving him safe passage through my state. That would have ensured that the government of the then Prime Minister VP Singh would continue. But I decided to make that sacrifice because in retrospect, any observer would say that by sacrificing my own government, we saved the country at that time."
कहीं कोनों के लौकी टूटे, कोहड़ा टूटे, पेटी चोरी हो जाए, 100 में ललुए
Lalu's constituency were the backwards and Muslims. His becoming the chief minister gave them a sense of belonging and dignity. They believed that he was their man, ruling on their behalf for their benefit. In his first term as chief minister, he went about creating the image of a common man chief minister. He was the rustic, popular, anti-establishment underdog that the backward castes loved. But it soon became evident that within the so-called backwards, the economically rich and politically influential Yadavs began to corner most of the benefits of the Lalu Raj, while the other backwards remained poor.
Law and order was at its lowest, and there was economic stagnation. That is what opponents call the jungle Raj of Bihar. There was no jungle in Bihar as such, but the lack of law and order, the lack of some kind of economic progress, and Lalu sat over it. I don't know consciously or unconsciously, but he just sat over it. He didn't do much about it, although I myself as a journalist would remind him through my writings, through my interviews. And in a famous interview, he told me, विकास और राजनीति में कोई संबंध नहीं है. I had written about it.
Development matrix. Public services were severely underfunded and poorly staffed. But Lalu once said to his detractors that he might not have given the people of Bihar a swarg or heaven, but he had certainly given them swar or voice.
लालू ने जो पिछड़ी जातियाँ थी, जो दलित थे, जो कमज़ोर लोग थे, दबे कुचले लोग थे, उनको एक वॉइस दी है, एक ताकत दिया. और इसीलिए तमाम आरोपों, जंगल राज, भ्रष्टाचार तमाम के बाद भी उनके पास वो कार्यकर्ता, वो आम आदमी उनके साथ जुड़ा हुआ है कि उन्हें एक आवाज़ वहाँ पर दी है जो एक अपर कास्ट पॉलिटिक्स बिहार में चलती थी उससे अलग है.
The RJD, with Lalu's promise of social parity, held power in Bihar from 1990 to 2005. A World Bank report in the early 2000s placed Bihar at the bottom of most. But then Lalu began to change with the times. Faced with mounting allegations of corruption during the infamous fodder scam, he imposed Rabri Devi, his wife, as the chief minister, initiating a tradition where the boundary between personal allegiance and public duty began to meld. With Rabri Devi in the chief minister's chair, Lalu Prasad's brothers-in-law, Subhash and Sadhu Yadav, began meddling in the politics of the RJD. Lalu in power, or by proxy when his wife Rabri Devi was the chief minister from 2000 to 2005, meant a redistribution of political spoils to the traditionally deprived classes. But the downward spiral of Lalu's star is both tragic and staggering. From having broken the glass ceiling of caste in Bihar, to being a champion of the ignored classes, from being the iconic, lovable jester in parliament, to doing time behind bars. From being able to field an entire cricket 11 from within the family to seeing its disintegration before his eyes is a testament to the shifting tides of fortune and the ephemeral nature of political power. The conflicting narratives within his family saga resonate with battles of succession. Lalu's first son, Tej Pratap Yadav, ousted not only from the party but from the familial embrace of a prince in waiting. The expulsion of Aishwarya Rai, his estranged wife, reveals the often brutal and public nature of family politics, where personal grievances spill into political arena. The exodus of Dr. Rohini Acharya, his second daughter, followed by 3 of her sisters with their families, speak about the turbulence within this political dynasty. As the walls of the Yadav residence echo with whispers of discord, one cannot help but draw parallels to past dynasties that faced their own downfalls due to internal strife. Lalu, once a kingpin of Bihar's political landscape, finds himself grappling with the legacy of his own creation. A clan where loyalty is held hostage to ambition and family bonds are severed by the very ambitions that once bound them together.